The Grand Hall of the Galactic Council was silent. For the first time in 500 years, the seat marked with the blue and white crest of Earth was empty. Not late, not missing. Empty by choice. The council members, made up of leaders from 100 species, sat in silence. The empty chair drew every eye. No one spoke. No one smiled. The silence grew heavy, like a storm waiting to break. High Chancellor Veltoran finally stood. His 4 eyes blinked slowly. "This is not a mistake," he said. His voice echoed through the chamber. "Earth has withdrawn from the Galactic Council." A ripple of gasps and angry murmurs followed his words. Some stood. Some pounded the table. Some laughed. "The humans think they can survive without us," spat Grolmik, war leader of the Krog Empire. "They forget who gave them star drives." "Humans never forget," whispered a smaller voice. It belonged to Thurin, an old and wise member of the Oslan species. "They just don't forgive." No one laughed at that. Veltoran continued. "Earth has sent no explanation, only a message. We walk alone now." More silence. Then fear began to grow in the room. Earth had not threatened anyone. No armies moved. No weapons fired. And yet, the empty chair was louder than any declaration of war. Across the galaxy, humans began pulling back. Their trade ships vanished. From neutral space, human embassies shut down overnight. Allied outposts were suddenly quiet. It was as if Earth had become a ghost, watching, waiting. At first, the Council thought it was just drama, stunt, a demand for more power. But then, something strange happened. A Council exploration ship. The Lorian's eye disappeared near the outer Ringzan area close to old human territory. Now, there was no distress call, no wreckage, no pirates in the area. Just silence. The Council sent another ship to search. That one vanished too. Whispers started. Did the humans do it? They said nothing. Maybe that's worse. Back in the capital, Veltoran sat alone in his chamber, watching the recordings from the last council session. He stared at the empty chair. So simple, so quiet. But it felt like a warning. Why? Had Earth left? Humans had always been strong, but cooperative, fierce in battle, but fair in politics. Earth had helped win the Second Zarn War. Humans had stabilized 3 collapsing economies. Their scientists had cured 2 galaxy-wide plagues. Their soldiers had bled beside dozens of allies, and yet they walked away without a word. Veltoran opened Earth's final message again. It was only 6 words. We remember. We forgive. No more, no names, no dates, no accusations. Just a line carved like ice into stone. He leaned back and whispered to himself, "What have we done?" The next few weeks passed quietly. Too quietly. No war, no threats. But fear began to spread. In the Zelkari markets, humans stopped selling rare crystals. On Cordex Station, a human doctor left in the middle of the night, leaving behind only a note. "We're done helping." And then came the 3rd disappearance. A fleet of 4 Council warships had gone to patrol an old trade route near Earth's. Abandoned outposts. They were strong ships. Full crew, armed, ready. They never came back. The Council demanded answers. They sent spies, scouts, even bounty hunters. Nothing returned, only static. Then one day something did return. A small escape pod drifted into Council space. Inside was one survivor from the lost fleet, a young pilot named Yarrick. He was unconscious, but alive. His mind, however, was broken. Doctors scanned him, healed his body, but his eyes never focused. After 3 days, he finally spoke. "They're not gone," he whispered. The room froze. The humans never left. They just... into the shadows. "What did you see?" one doctor asked softly. Yarrick shook his head, tears falling. "It wasn't war. It wasn't hate. It was cold. Like we were already dead." He passed out again and never woke up. The Council grew divided. Some said it was a trick. Others demanded an attack. But a few like Thurin of the Oslin remained. Silent, they warned us, Thurin said quietly. What? But we didn't listen. Velteron called another emergency session. The empty Earth chair still sat untouched. GROL-MEK stood, angry as ever. If they want war, let them have it. Are you sure they haven't already started it? Thurin asked. GROL-MEK growled. What? They hide in the dark like cowards? Thurin turned to him. Or like hunters? The room fell silent again. That night, a quiet signal echoed through the galaxy. It was human code-old, but clear. Zone Alpha is now restricted. Do not enter. Violators will be erased. It was not a threat. It was a statement. The Council panicked. Who gave Earth the right to declare zones? Why erase violators? But deep down, many remembered who Earth really was. Not just diplomats, not just scientists. Earth was the species that turned a dying home into a fortress. The species that fought. Back against the Borgar swarm when no one else dared. The species that once said, "We come in peace, but we carry swords." Now those swords were in the shadows again, in the weeks that followed. The galaxy watched and waited. Then something new happened. On a far mining moon, Council guards found a broken drone. It was alien not, Council made. Had been watching. A human colony that should have been empty. The drone had one last. Video saved, the footage showed something terrifying. Dozens of human ships, old and new, hiding in orbit. Factories below, soldiers training. Weapons being built. And a flag flying. Not the blue and white crest of the Earth Council, but something different. A black flag. With a single symbol, a broken chain. They don't serve the Council anymore, Veltoran whispered when he saw it. They serve only themselves. A panic spread. The Council begged for talks, sent messages, pleaded for peace. There was no answer, only silence. And in every meeting, the Earth chair stayed empty. But somehow, it felt like someone was still watching, waiting, planning. The Drakari were scavengers. They never built anything of their own. Instead, they waited, watched. And when others were weak, they took. So when Earth left the Galactic Council, the Drakari saw it as an opportunity. To them, it was simple. Humans were gone. Their worlds were open. Their outposts were unguarded. And no one, not the Council, not even Earth, had claimed them again. Easy targets. Captain Brailnox of the scavenger ship Razor. Fang licked his teeth as he stared at the hologram. 3 old Earth colonies, he said to his crew. Empty. Untouched for years. This is our lucky day, his crew cheered. They armed their weapons, they prepared to jump, but no one asked why the colonies had been left untouched for so long. No, one wondered why Earth had not destroyed them. Or why the Council had told everyone to stay away. They just saw credits. And so 3 Drakari scavenger ships entered what was once Earth-controlled space. They flew fast. No one stopped them. No human patrols. No warning shots. Nothing. It felt too easy. The first colony they reached was on a dead planet called Mira-7. The air was thin. The ground was cold, but the buildings still stood. Lights still flickered. Even the power cores hummed softly left running, as if someone might return any moment. Captain Brailnox stepped into the main command building. His metal boots echoed. On the floor, his eyes scanned the screens. Old Earth tech. Valuable. Still working. He grinned. Strip everything. Every wire. Every panel, he barked. His crew scattered across the colony like rats. They took data drives. Food supplies, weapons, even clothing. Everything but in one building. The youngest crew member, a Drakari named Telik, found something strange. Message scratched into the metal wall. It was written in 100 languages. If you're reading this, you shouldn't be here. Telik laughed. Scare tactic, he muttered. Then he turned on, saw the camera. A single, human-style security camera hanging from the ceiling. Still powered, still watching. He stared at it, and it blinked. Just once, Telik froze, backed away. Then he ran. By the time he reached his captain, alarms began to sound. Not from the colony, from their own ships. Enemy detected. Unknown ships. Approaching fast, Captain Brownnox rushed to the landing zone. He looked to the sky. His heart stopped. Human. Ships. Not old patrols. Not cargo freighters. Sleek. Black. Silent no. Markings, no lights, just cold metal and deadly silence. The Razor Fang fired first. Its cannons blazed, but the shots never hit. The human ships moved too fast, too smooth. Like shadows with engines, in less than 30 seconds, 2 Drakari ships exploded in orbit. Brownnox screamed, "Get us out of here." Now, his ship tried to flee, but it was too late. Something hit them. Not a beam, not a missile. Just ... a pulse, and everything shut down. No power, no lights. No control. The Razor Fang crashed into Myra 7's icy ground hours later. The Council received a message. No sender, no signature, just a voicehumancold.com. The Drakari violated our territory. The response was measured. No further warnings will be given. That was all back in council chambers. Panic grew. This wasn't war, said one ambassador. It was a hunt. They didn't send warnings. They didn't negotiate, said another. They don't have to, whispered Thurin. Once again, silent in the corner, but the Drakari didn't listen. They were proud. They were angry. One of their warlords, Bexgrun, declared revenge. We will burn the human colonies and show them Drakari fire. Launched 5 warships strong. Fast. Full of weapons. They flew straight toward another abandoned Earth colony. Station Theto 12. Once a deep space lab. But when they got there was nothing. No station, no signal. Just debris. Floating. Dr. AKRI debris. Their own scouting ships. It's already destroyed. One warship, Claw of Flame, turned to flee, but it never made it back. Later, another Council scout ship found the wreck floating. Near an asteroid belt, its hull was sliced clean. No burn marks, no signs of struggle. Inside the wreck, one wall was covered in blood, and on that wall, scratched deep into the metal, were the same words, "You shouldn't be here." The message had no name, no signature, just silence. And the Council started to understand. Earth hadn't left. It had gone dark, invisible, hidden, watching. Everything, every move, every ship, every mistake, and waiting for a reason to strike. They didn't claim the colonies. They didn't send fleets. They just ... waited until someone broke the unspoken rule. And when that happened, the humans didn't respond with warnings. They answered with No survivors, no broadcasts, only the cold message, measured response. Now all over the galaxy, fear spread. Who would be next? Would humans attack again? What had measured? Even mean, no one knew. But everyone, every species, every trader, every scavenger started avoiding Earth space. Even pirates, even slavers, even the boldest smugglers refused to go near the old human borders. Because the lesson was clear now. Earth had left the Council. But Earth had not left the galaxy. And the humans were not sleeping. They were waiting. Space was never safe. Pirates ruled the outer trade routes. They moved like ghosts stealing cargo, disabling ships, taking hostages. The Council had tried many times to stop them. Patrols, fleets, treaties. Nothing worked for long. But then something strange started happening. Pirates began to vanish. Not in battles, not during raids. They just disappeared. At first, no one noticed. A missed report. A late ship. It was normal in deep space. Soon it became too common. In just 2 months, 12 pirate ships failed to return. No wrecks, no signals, no ransom demands. Nothing, Captain Solrasic, a famous smuggler and pirate, sat in his darkened bridge aboard the Black Spire. His face was hard, his eyes focused on the star map. Too quiet, he muttered. His second-in-command Korga growled. What do you mean? I mean we're making runs in open lanes. No patrols, no warnings, no rivals, no human trade ships either. It's like everyone vanished. Korga frowned. Good for us. Sol shook his head. No, it's bad. Something's wrong. Just then, they got a signal. A distress beacon. Old code. Weak signal. They traced it came from a pirate ship called the Ember Clawless, seen entering the edges of old Earth's territory, KORGA. Grinned. Let's salvage. Sol hesitated. Agreed one. They jumped to the coordinates. When they arrived, they found the Emberclaw drifting. No power, no lights. No life signs. They approached slowly. Board it, Sol ordered. A team entered. The dead ship. Flashlights cut through the darkness. Everything was quiet, too. Quiet, bodies floated in the halls. Pirates, but no wounds, no burns, no blood, just frozen faces, eyes wide, like they died in fear. In the command room, one screen was still on, only one. A static-filled recording played. Sol watched it. The video showed the Emberclaw days earlier. Pirates were laughing, drinking, talking, then an alarm. Unknown ship approaching. No ID, no signal, no weapons locked, just . Watching, a black human ship, still silent, the pirates shouted. Aimed weapons. Charged shields, then the screen cut out. Nothing. After, Sol's heart pounded. He turned to Korga. Get back to our ship now. But as they returned, the black spire was already gone. Vanished. No trail, just empty space. Then Sol saw it. In the distance, a black ship. No lights, no markings. Still watching, Sol raised his cum. This is Captain Sol Rassic. We're not council. Out. We're not part of the war. We're just trying to leave. Silence. Then, for the first time, the human ship responded. A single text. Transmission. Piracy ends here. Sol dropped the cum. Run. They launched in escape pods. He never saw Korga again. Only Sol's pod made it back to neutral space. He sent a message to every pirate group he knew. Don't go near the old human zones. Something's out there, and it's hunting.
At first,
many didn't believe him until more pirate bases started. Disappearing. Bases with defenses. Bases hidden inside asteroid fields. Bases guarded by drones and weapons, all gone. No survivors, no warnings, just silence. And then the rumors began. The black ships, they weren't from Earth's Navy. They didn't match any known models. They never answered hails. They just appeared and erased. Some believed they were AI. Others said they were ghost ships, but a few, especially the oldest. Smugglers remembered a secret project from Earth, a name once whispered in fear. Project Revenant, an old Earth military legend. Unconfirmed, unseen, rumored to be stealth warships with no crew, controlled by AI, built for one purpose: erasure. Not to win battles, to prevent them, not to fight wars, to end them before they began. And now, ships were awake again. Council leaders held emergency meetings. Trade guilds screamed for answers. Veltorin, still High Chancellor, called for calm. We do not know if Earth is behind this. Thurin simply said, we know. We're just afraid to admit it. Some demanded Earth be brought to justice. Others begged for peace. But Earth said nothing. And the black ships kept moving silently, efficiently. One day, a council cargo convoy sent a private escort, 7 battleships. They vanished near the edge of Sector 9. 2 days later, the council received a package. Inside, black boxes from each of the missing warships. All intact, all shut down at the exact same second, not destroyed, disabled, taken. Apart, returned a message was attached. No more warnings. It's your last mistake. The meaning was clear. Stay out. Stop the violence, or Earth would stop everything. No more ships dared enter the trade zones once claimed by humans. No, or pirates raided those lanes. And slowly the galaxy changed. Because even without war, even without fleets, Earth had made its move, and the shadows no longer belonged to pirates. They belonged to humans, and everyone knew it. No more pirate ships vanished, because no one dared enter old human space anymore, but fear had already spread far beyond the border, across the galaxy. Species began to ask the same question. What is Earth planning? The Galactic Council held another emergency session. It was the fourth one in 2 weeks. The chamber was full, but the fear made it feel empty, and still Earth's seat was vacant. High Chancellor Velteron stood again. We must act, he said. Earth's silence is no longer peaceful. Their actions were a response. Thurin interrupted. The old Oslin's voice was soft, but everyone fell quiet. We pushed too far, and now they push back. Grolmek, leader of the Krog Empire, slammed a fist onto the table. They are a threat. Their ships strike from shadows. No talks. No trials. They must be punished. Punished? Thurin turned. By whom? Gromit growled. By all of us. No one supported him. No one spoke, because deep down, all knew. The humans were not acting like an angry empire. They were acting like something worse, something disappointed. That same week, an old neutral species called the Tyrex received an unexpected message. It came from Earth. Simple, direct. Do not take sides. That was all. The Tyrex ambassador, Tovel, brought the message to the council. He was shaking. They know we spoke to council intelligence. They know we let scouts pass through our space, he said. But we didn't send data. We didn't. Break treaties. Veltorin looked at him. Then why are you so afraid? Tovel's skin changed color. Tyrex's sign of fear. Because they shouldn't know, he whispered. We hid it. We erased records. Oh no. It was true. Earth's ships hadn't been seen, but Earth's eyes were everywhere. Some said they used hidden satellites. Others believed humans had allies in every species. But the most feared answer was simpler. Humans never stopped watching. They had always been watching, just silently, patiently, and now. They were waiting in Sector 3, close to Council territory. A small science station picked up something strange. A fleet. Human ships. Massive. Silent stationary. Hidden in the gravity well of a dying star. They didn't send signals. Didn't move. Just sat there, dozens of them like sleeping monsters. The science station sent a scan. Instantly. They got a reply. We are not your enemy, unless you decide to be. The station shut off all scanners and went dark for 3 days. When it came back online, the fleet was gone. No trace. Then came the incident that changed everything, eh? Minor Council World Brentalker was home too. A small human community. Farmers, traders, peaceful settlers. When Earth left the Council, most humans had gone home, but a few stayed behind. They liked their life there, quiet, safe, until a group of Brentakar officials passed a new law. No humans could hold property. No humans could vote. No humans could carry weapons. It wasn't violent. It wasn't loud. But it was wrong. And Earth noticed. The next day, every system on Brentakar shut down. Power, communications, defense grid gone. No. Warning, no attack. Just darkness. Then, in orbit, a single human ship appeared. It did not fire. It did not speak. It just watched for 3 days. Then it vanished. When the systems returned, all council files on Brentakar's servers had been replaced. Every terminal showed the same message. We warned you. We asked for peace. You chose fear. Choose again. Veltorin called an emergency meeting. The chamber was quieter than ever before. We are losing control, he said. No, Thurin replied. We already lost it. We just didn't see it. Still said nothing to the council. But the silence itself felt heavier every day. Every moment without a message was another second the galaxy held its breath. What did humans want? Revenge? Domination? Control? No one knew. Because Earth was not acting like a conqueror. They were acting like something else. Something something patient. They didn't need to shout, because the galaxy was already listening. They didn't need to threaten, because the galaxy was already afraid, and they didn't need to attack, because now everyone knew the rules had changed. Earth no longer played by council laws. Earth made its own rules now, and the galaxy had two choices: respect them or disappear in silence. Far out in the rim of known space, past the old trade lanes, is a system called Aerosanine. Cold, empty, no living planets, nothing valuable. The council had scanned it long ago and marked it as dead. No one visited it until a council explorer ship. Stellar Path went off course during a storm of solar flares. The ship's navigation was damaged. It drifted off the main route for days before systems came back online. When the crew checked their location, they realized they were deep in Erosny. They expected silence, but instead, they picked up a signal. It was human, old style, military code. The crew stared at each other in shock. There were no Earth colonies here, no records, no traffic. The place was supposed to be empty. They followed the signal and found something no one believed could exist. A massive colony, hidden in the shadow of a dark moon, covered in signal jammers and thick magnetic fields. It didn't show up on scanners until they were close enough to see it. Buildings, farms, shields, ships, human ships, but not Earth Navy. Different, older, but advanced, modified. Heavily armed, as the stellar path approached, a message came through. You are entering a sovereign zone. Identify or leave. The council crew sent their ID, peaceful explorers. Just passing through, the reply came quickly. No council presence is allowed here. This colony is not yours. You are not invited. The message ended, and just like that, the colony went dark. No more signals, no threats, no weapons aimed, just silence. Captain Drell of the Stellar Path was confused. This is not an Earth colony. No record of it anywhere. Who are they? One of the crew, a xenolinguist, checked the human dialect in the messages. Her face went pale. These people, they're not council citizens. They're descendants of old Earth colonies. Cut off, alone. They've been here for 100 years, maybe more. Drell frowned. That's impossible. No, she whispered. It's worse. It means they survived without help, without supplies, and they thrived. Captain Drell made the decision to leave. We're not ready for this. We need to report. But as the stellar path turned to jump, another signal came through. Private, encrypted. From the colony, a man appeared on the screen. Older, worn face, human. He wore no council uniform. No Earth's badge, just black armor with a white stripe broken in the middle. My name is Commander Rail Thorn, he said. We are the sovereign human bastion. You forgot us. But we never forgot Earth. Or the galaxy. He leaned forward. You abandoned the frontier. You didn't. You made peace with the council. We didn't. You stopped building weapons. We didn't. His eyes narrowed. And now you've awakened us. ... The jump drive lit. The stellar path returned to council space and silence. When Veltorin heard the report, he didn't believe it. Impossible, he said. All Earth colonies were registered. There were no rogue settlements. Thurin, again quiet in the shadows, whispered, not rogue, just forgotten. The council feared Earth's military. But now, it seemed Earth wasn't acting alone. These hidden colonies left behind by time, untouched by the council's peace, hardened by survival, had built something new, a different kind of humanity. Not soft, not political, but sharp, focused, ready, and they didn't answer to Earth's government, or to anyone soon. Other strange sightings were reported, unmarked. Human ships passing through asteroid belts, black stations built inside gas giants, mining rigs with unknown, designs all far from Earth but all human, and all responding to the same signal when scanned. A broken chain. The same symbols seen before on wrecks and old flags. The Council began to panic because now, it wasn't just Earth. It was the forgotten humans. The other humans. The ones who never joined the Council. The ones who stayed angry. And quiet and armed. In a secret council meeting, Grolmik slammed his hand on the table again. We must act. We let them grow like weeds. Now they spread. Valtora nodded slowly. Perhaps. We didn't fear the right humans. But Thurin said something that chilled the room. You think they're different? You think they're not Earth? He paused, letting the silence stretch. They are more Earth than the Earth you knew. Back in Erosnine, Commander Railthorn stood on his dark balcony. Ships flew past silently above. Children played in the dust below. He watched a new recruit finish training. Young, fast, dangerous. Rail smiled. The galaxy forgot us, he said too. His second in command. She nodded. But now they remember, she answered. Let them, Rail said. We've waited long enough. Above them, the colony's defense satellites came online silently, smoothly, without a single alarm, because they were not preparing for war. They had never stopped. The message arrived without warning. It was not sent through normal Galactic Council channels. It came through every frequency at once: military, civilian, encrypted, open. Every species heard it. Every ship, station, and planet received the signal at the same time. There was no signature on it. But everyone knew who it was from. Earth, the humans had been silent for months. No trade, no messages, no council attendance. The council had called it diplomatic distance. Some called it quiet rebellion. But what came now wasn't quiet, it was a roar. The screen showed the Earth emblem, blue and white, cold and bold. Then a voice spoke, calm, human, male, but filled with something terrible, not anger, not rage, finality. To the council and all those who acted against Earth, you had your chance. We asked, we warned, we waited. Now there is nothing more to say. Watch closely. Let history remember this moment, not as a war, but as correction. The screen went black. Then the skies across 3 council line systems lit up. No warning. No ships entering warp. No fleets detected. Just explosions. Controlled, surgical, brutal. Orbital defense stations vanished. Military command hubs erased. Communication arrays melted in the upper atmosphere. Not one civilian was harmed. But the power, the raw, terrifying precision left, no doubt. This was not revenge. This was message. Across the galaxy, panic began. High councils scrambled. Emergency meetings were called. Leaders screamed at one another. How did Earth do this? How did they move so fast? Where are their fleets? But there were no fleets. There were no ships. Nothing had moved. And yet, 3 systems had been silenced. One word began to spread like wildfire. Quantum weapons. But even that didn't explain how Earth struck without warning. Some theorized Earth had hidden weapons near key systems long ago. Others believed Earth had achieved something darker, something beyond science. No theory felt safe enough. In the council chamber, the human chair still sat empty. Chancellor Ivan of the Volari, once a strong advocate for Earth's punishment, now trembled. He had voted to cut Earth's access to Stardocks. He had supported sanctions. He had believed humans were too soft, too emotional. He was wrong. In a closed room, he whispered to his aides. He thought they were weak because they valued peace. We never thought they were choosing it. On the planet Sorella 9, a fleet admiral of the Telosian Empire watched the footage for the 50th time. He had trained his entire life for war. He had seen battles, crushed rebellions, and silenced pirates. But nothing in his career prepared him for what Earth just did. He turned to his second in command. What do we do if they come here? The younger officer didn't answer. His face was pale. In silence, they watched as the screen replayed the final moments of the Council's forward command base in the Hera system just before it vanished in white fire. Meanwhile, deep inside Earth's military command, the real conversation began. General Imani stood in front of her command staff. She was calm, focused. Her eyes were sharp, her uniform perfect. Around her, the best minds in Earth's defense systems watched the galaxy panic. They will try to unite now, she said. They will beg. They will threaten. Some will try to strike us first. She turned to her top strategist. Is Shield Net 4 ready? Tested and active, ma'am? Even a full council fleet won't get past it. And the Black Ice Protocol? Loaded? Final confirmation pending. General Imani nodded. Good. Let them scream. Let them plan. Make no mistake, if they move against Earth again, they won't see the next sunrise. Far above, Earth, in orbit, the quiet hull of the Eclipse-class battleship Judgment turned slowly in silence. It had never fired a weapon. It's never been seen by any council probe. Cloaked, quiet, deadly. On its bridge, no one spoke. The order had been given. 3 systems destroyed without launching a single visible craft. Humanity had made its point. They didn't want war, but they would end it. On dozens of council worlds, riots began. Citizens questioned their leaders. Why did you provoke Earth? Why did you push them? What happens now? On one world, a child asked his father, "Will the humans come here?" The father answered honestly, "I hope not, son. I hope not." Some still didn't learn. On the edge of council space, the military governor of the Drex Collective ordered a fleet mobilization. They won't scare us. We are warriors. We will strike Earth before they can strike us. Before his fleet could even enter warp, every weapon on his ships locked itself down. His ships refused to launch. Screens across his command deck flickered to life. A simple message appeared. Try again, and the stars will weep. No source, no trace. Just a warning. The Drex canceled the launch. Back on Earth. General Imani received reports from intelligence units. No fleet movements. No retaliation. It's only fear. Exactly as planned. But she wasn't smiling. This isn't about fear, she said. It's about balance. They broke it. Now we restore it. Boy. A junior officer looked up. What if they don't stop? General Imani didn't hesitate. Then we do. From this day on, the galaxy understood. Earth's silence was never weakness. Their patience wasn't surrender. And when Earth finally spoke, it didn't ask. It declared. And now, the galaxy would have to live with what it had awakened. The stars burned quiet over the ruined worlds. Nothing moved in the cold dark. Where once the Galactic Council ruled, only shadows remained. Ambassador Kesri floated above what was left of Centaura. Primed the Council's former capital, her ship. The Peacekeeper's Oath was one of the few still operational. Below, the once mighty planet was nothing but scorched rock and drifting ash clouds. Centaura had fallen in the second hour of Earth's return. It had taken just one human dreadnought, Kesri whispered. It didn't have to be like this. The Galactic Council had made a mistake, a grave one. When Earth withdrew, they thought it was weakness. They thought humans were walking away in defeat. But Earth wasn't retreating. Earth was waiting, preparing. And when the silence broke, it came with thunder. The first sign was the disappearance of the Varnath fleet, 12 ships gone without a trace. Then the attacks began. Precise, ruthless. No negotiation, no mercy. Council worlds fell one by one. The humans said nothing. They only acted. Some races begged Earth to stop. Some tried to surrender. Others tried to fight back. None of it mattered. Humanity had stopped speaking. Kesri had watched it all happen. As the Council refused to listen, she had begged them to. Reach out, to send a signal, a treaty, a message. But no one wanted to admit fault. Not after how they had treated Earth for so long. The pride of the Council cost them everything. Now, silence was complete. Kesri looked at her screen. Static, the human dreadnought Atlas, ascending, had been orbiting the nearby moon for hours, just watching her. It hadn't fired. It didn't need to. Its presence was the message. Then, for the first time in months, her ship received a signal. One word. Remember. Kesri broke into tears. It wasn't a warning, it was a grave marker, all around the galaxy. Ships like the Atlas Ascending stood silently near the ruined homes of once proud empires. No more speeches, no more ultimatums. Earth had said all it needed to say. With fire and silence, the war was over. Earth had won, but the price of silence had been total now. The galaxy remembered the one truth it had ignored for too long. You don't betray those who once offered peace. Because when peace is broken, humans don't scream. They erase. The stars burned quiet over the ruined worlds. Nothing moved in the cold dark. Where once the Galactic Council ruled, only shadows remained. Ambassador Kesri floated above what was left of Centaura. Prime, the Council's former capital, her ship. The Peacekeeper's Oath was one of the few still operational. Below, the once mighty planet was nothing but scorched rock and drifting ash clouds. Centaura had fallen in the second hour of Earth's return. It had taken just one human dreadnought, Kesri whispered. It didn't have to be like this. The Galactic Council had made a mistake, a grave one. When Earth withdrew, they thought it was weakness. They thought humans were walking away in defeat. But Earth wasn't retreating. Earth was waiting, preparing. And when the silence broke, it came with thunder. The first sign was the disappearance of the Varnath fleet, 12 ships gone without a trace. Then the attacks began. Precise, ruthless. No negotiation, no mercy. Council worlds fell one by one. The humans said nothing. They only acted. Some races begged Earth to stop. Some tried to surrender. Others tried to fight back. None of it mattered. Humanity had stopped speaking. Kesri had watched it all happen. As the Council refused to listen, she had begged them to. Reach out, to send a signal, a treaty, a message. But no one wanted to admit fault. Not after how they had treated Earth for so long. The pride of the Council cost them everything. Now, silence was complete. Kesri looked at her screen. Static, the human dreadnought Atlas, Ascending, had been orbiting the nearby moon for hours, just watching her. It hadn't fired. It didn't need to. Its presence was the message. Then, for the first time in months, her ship received a signal. One word. Remember. Kesri broke into tears. It wasn't a warning, it was a grave marker, all around the galaxy. Ships like the Atlas Ascending stood silently near the ruined homes of once proud empires. No more speeches, no more ultimatums. Earth had said all it needed to say. With fire and silence, the war was over. Earth had won, but the price of silence had been total now. The galaxy remembered the one truth it had ignored for too long. You don't betray those who once offered peace. Because when peace is broken, humans don't scream. They erase.